Hello, welcome to this special AI edition. As you all must know, the summit is almost coming to a close, and we have brought this edition to discuss the key takeaways of this summit. And don't worry, we won't take away anything from you. We will explain it in a very easy to understand way, just as easy to understand as to hit the subscribe button. Well, my time is up. Time for me to go.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today from Educational Videos, we're diving into a moment that literally reshaped the entire AI landscape, the India AI Impact Summit of 2026. And trust me, this was way more than just another tech conference. This was a fundamental shift in global power.
You know, for the longest time, if you asked a question like this, the answer felt pretty obvious, didn't it? You'd immediately think, well, Silicon Valley, maybe London, or a couple of other big tech hubs out in the West. But then, in February 2026, all eyes turned to New Delhi. And over just a few days, the entire map of the AI world was basically redrawn.
So, to really get why this was such a huge deal, you have to rewind a little. For years, all these global AI summits in places like the UK, Seoul, and Paris were kind of dominated by a small club of wealthy nations. And the conversation was always super focused on risk and regulation.
But the India Summit? It was a completely different animal. This was the first ever global AI summit hosted in the Global South. And that wasn't just a symbolic change of address. It was a seismic shift in the whole conversation, moving away from these abstract fears and diving right into real-world deployment and actual impact for billions of people.
And seriously, don't underestimate the scale here. We are talking about over 250,000 people registered, with more than 20 heads of state flying in. The bottom line is this. This was the moment India officially arrived on the world stage as a major AI power.
The numbers that back this up are just mind-boggling. India has become an absolute powerhouse of AI users. 100 million people using ChatGPT every single week. That's just incredible.
And this really shows you how deep that adoption goes. Take a look at this. An unbelievable 92% of knowledge workers in the country are already using AI. So this isn't some niche tool for tech geeks. It's fast becoming a fundamental part of the modern Indian workforce. So naturally, the biggest names in AI are taking notice. They don't just see India as a market to sell their stuff anymore. No, they see a nation that has the potential to lead across the entire AI ecosystem, from the silicon chips that start it all, right up to the apps people use every day.
But okay, this is where it gets really interesting. India isn't just using AI, it's building its own. And it's doing it with a strategy that's uniquely designed for its massive population of 1.4 billion people.
This slide gets to a really key difference in philosophy. Instead of just trying to copy the huge, power-hungry models that are common in the West, India is focusing on building leaner, more efficient AI that's made for its specific, incredibly diverse context.
A perfect example is their flagship model, Bharat Gyan Param 2. The fact that it can work offline in 22 different official languages, that is an absolute game changer for a country with such diverse languages and all kinds of internet connectivity. This is AI built for the real world.
Now, this homegrown push isn't just happening in a vacuum. It's being supercharged by a massive wave of global investment, which signals this huge realignment of money and resources, all pointing toward India's AI sector.
And the numbers here are just enormous. You've got tech giants like Microsoft and Google pledging tens of billions of dollars to build the foundational AI and cloud infrastructure that's going to power this growth all across the country.
All of this investment is also changing the conversation around the future of work. The main idea floating around the summit wasn't fear of, mass job losses. It was a new, much more interesting model of how our jobs are going to evolve.
So what does unbundling a job actually mean? It's a really simple but powerful idea. Instead of thinking about your job as one big thing, picture it as a collection, a bundle of all the different tasks you do every day. So as this happens, AI comes in and automates some of those tasks, usually the boring, repetitive ones. And this frees you up to focus on the stuff that humans are great at: creativity, strategy, connecting with other people. Your job doesn't disappear, it just evolves. The key is, you have to learn how to work with AI as a partner.
The summit also turned into this really important stage for a much-needed conversation about global AI governance. The big call, led by people like the UN Secretary General, was for a more inclusive, more fair system, where the future of AI isn't just decided by a select few.
And these weren't just vague ideas. Real, concrete proposals were put on the table. A global fund to help developing nations get in the game, an independent scientific panel for unbiased advice, and a UN-led dialogue to make sure AI development respects basic human rights. Now, the summit was a massive success, but it wasn't completely without its little hiccups. A small controversy blew up online when a university got caught trying to pass off a Chinese robot dog that you can just buy online as its own homegrown invention.
And while that whole thing was a small distraction, it did kind of highlight the intense pressure and high stakes that come with India stepping onto the world stage. So with all that said, what's the bottom line here? The India AI Impact Summit basically marked 4 fundamental shifts in the world of AI.
First, the AI conversation is no longer just for the wealthy West. The Global South is now a central player. Second, India has transformed from just being a huge user of AI into a powerful builder and a leader. Third, the global focus has pivoted from abstract fears to actual, real-world impact. And finally, India is now the #1 proving ground in the world for deploying AI at a scale we have never seen before.
This is the new reality. A more diverse, more practical, and way more global era of AI has officially begun. And that really leaves us with a final thought, captured perfectly in this quote from the summit. As the power of AI gets spread out all over the globe, the responsibility for shaping its future now rests with more of us than ever before.
Do you enjoy our videos? If you do, you can listen to our music videos, videos on quadratics and coordinates, and epic dancing. This all can be found on our channel. And if you want more content, just hit that subscribe